Hey, good morning, my beautiful ladies. We are getting ready for another Sunday morning. I want to send you lots of love, lots of hugs. Um, I also wanted to get on to encourage you today. All right, leading ladies, especially first ladies, ladies who happen to be married to a senior pastor. So if you're not a leading lady, if you're not a pastor's wife, if you're not married to a minister, an elder, or a deacon, what I'm going to ask you to do, swipe right, swipe left, swipe up, swipe down, whatever you got to do to get away from this, go ahead and do that because this is not for you. Do not like, do not share, do not subscribe, okay? Do not, definitely don't comment because this stuff doesn't apply to you and you don't understand. I want to encourage you today by simply saying thank you for all that you do. Thank you for all that you do. Um, I normally clean up my workspace so that I can get ready for whatever it is that I want to record for you today. But I left up all of my computers, I left up all the open documents, I left out all of the things that I've been working on over the week, the spreadsheets, the documents, the classes, all of the behind the scenes things that I do throughout the week because I do more, much more than just get on and record or talk about issues for the first ladies. So my story is that me and my husband, we started our church together. And it took maybe about 8 years for me to even receive compensation for any of the work that I did regarding Spirit Filled Family Church. Now, I wanted to say that openly because number one, it's not a secret. And number two, so you would have some context in what I am saying and why I am saying thank you. First Lady, thank you. Woman of God, thank you, leading lady, for all that you do that people do not see. So many of our leading ladies um, end up leading ladies simply because their husband has been chosen for a position. You are thrust into the eye of the public. You are expected to do certain things because you are the wife of the pastor. That's why I'm so focused on pastor's wife. You're the wife of the minister. You're not the actual minister. You're simply the wife. You're an accessory to the job, just like they say, a person who is an accessory to a crime because they were simply there in the vicinity and were associated with the person who was actually committing it. It's the same way with us, with pastors' wives. So a lot of times we end up in the spotlight or we end up in our position because we are simply an accessory. We're married to the man who has been chosen for the position, the man who has been hired by the board, the man who has been hired by the organization to actually head and pastor and lead the church. But as a helpmeet, so whether you're hired or not, it's almost like second nature. It's intrinsic for us to just step in and say, babe, what do you need? Babe, what can I do? Babe, how can I help? Babe, is there anything that I can do? And a lot of that goes on and it's behind the scenes. So I don't get it in the sense that my husband was not hired on. I do get it in the sense that the work that I do is behind the scenes in support of my husband. So if there's anything good that's happening for the church, if there's something that somebody admires in the organization or the structure of the church or the way the business, and yes, church is a business, there is a whole business side. It is a Christ-centric business. It's a business that reflects the Father's heart, but nonetheless, it has a business structure that requires maintenance and that requires attention. So if there's something that is in that people admire, more than likely, I'm the person that's responsible for that. If there's something that they look at and they say, I love the way that you guys do X, Y, Z, especially if it has to do with technology. My children are in there making the most noise, so ignore them. But if it's something especially to do with technology, more than likely, I'm the culprit. I'm the brains behind making that particular thing happen. And the fact of the matter is this: because Pastor, my husband, is the face of the ministry, he's the one that gets the credit. He's the one that people come to and say, Pastor Hart, how did you? Pastor Hart, why did you? Pastor Hart, can you teach me? Pastor Hart, Pastor Hart, Pastor Hart. And Lady Hart is, of course, here, and she's working in the ministry, has been since the beginning with no compensation, which is another dilemma that many pastors' wives have. You're doing all the work with no compensation, but not all the work, but you are doing work with no compensation. Let me say it like that. And you're doing this and nobody is saying thank you. And then on top of it, you're not even being compensated for that which you do, that which you do offer. Instead, you're being criticized for the things, the areas where you slip up at. But that's a whole other topic. Let's get back on track. It's simply thank you for the things that you do that nobody else sees. Thank you. Okay? Your husband has probably told you thank you, but it's like when a mom has a kid and that kid is not the prettiest of kids. That kid begins to grow up and say, hey, it's something different about me. My eye is looking that way instead of straight on, right? And you go to your parent and you say, Mom, am I beautiful? Do you love me? And your mom says, oh, you're the most beautiful thing in the world. And you know it's not true. And because you know it's not true, you say you bold enough to tell your mama, you just saying that because you love me. And that's the same way as pastors' wives we feel. You're telling me that because you love me. You're telling me that because you have to. You have to tell me I'm pretty. You have to tell me I'm cute. You have to tell me I'm smart. You're my mama. You should. But it's the same thing. You're just saying that because you have to. You're my husband. It's not a real, pure, sincere thank you. You're saying that because it's your general duty. And so we feel that way. We feel that way. But I want to be the first to say, you are amazing. Whatever it is that you're doing, whether you're working on your computer, whether you're putting together some type of technology, whether you're serving people in the food ministry, whether you're teaching in Sunday school, whether you are putting together a floral arrangement like I did last week, whether you are cleaning the church, whether you are simply being in the presence of the people to support your husband, you are amazing. And thank you for all that you do, for everything that you do, for who you are, for who God has created you to be, for everything that you have given up to serve the bride of Christ. Thank you. I'll see you in the service.